everybody, this is Cheri at djsundries.blogspot.com and welcome to the Back to School with Ribbon Challenge over at 3 Girl Jam. We have some new product to be showing you today, and if you haven't seen the other design team projects, be sure and check those out and then make your Back to School with Ribbon Challenge project and post it on the blog for us. I am really excited about this fun project that I made today. I know you are probably getting ATC'd out, but I have just had a ball making ATCs. And so today I decided to do some back to school ATCs. And yes, there's a sneak peek of that new product that I was telling you about. Let me show you what else I used though. From 7 Gypsies, I used these alphabet paper clips. And they're just something that I picked up quite a while ago. I think I got them on clearance somewhere, and I used quite a few of those, so that's the first thing. I used some chipboard, and the reason I use this is, and I just picked this up from my stash, but I just felt like it gives an extra sturdiness to my ATCs, and so I like to use something a little bit sturdier, whether it's in the core or whether it's the material itself. Sometimes I use mat board, but in this case I use chipboard as the core, and then I put paper on the front and the back. And the paper that I used is this gorgeous graphic 45 paper pad. I think that this is probably maybe the second graphic 45 paper that I ever purchased. I've had it for quite a while and I love it. As you can see, I have loved it well and used it well. And so I used several of the things from this pad, and then I put my scraps, at least the ones that were big enough to do anything with, in a little plastic bag, and then I'll put it right back inside so that I can still find it and it's all together when I have another project in the future. So let me set those aside and I will bring out the 3 Girl Jam. The ribbon that I used for today's project is this red, and this is Hollyberry, and it's part of the Christmas holiday pack, but I wanted to have it in this back to school. Now remember, if you've purchased 3 Girl Jam ribbon before, and you'll notice that's a little bit different red than the red that I'm showing you. They're both Hollyberry, but like anything that's hand dyed, you're going to have some slight variation in your colors. So when you order, make sure that if you're doing a large project, you order enough all at once that's off the same dye lot, it all happened at the same time, so that you don't notice those variations. So the new product at 3 Girl Jam are these little flare buttons. Aren't they neat? This one is a chalkboard that says 2 + 2 = 4, and here's another one that's an apple. And these are available in the 3 Girl Jam store, so I hope you head over there and grab those. Now, let's talk about the ATCs. There are some things that are the same throughout all of my ATCs, and that's where it stops. After that, they are completely different. But there are some things that I did that tie them together and make them into a set. So I'm just going to slide these down and pull them all 6 out so that you can see them. So with the exception of this one, all of them have that Hollyberry ribbon in it. Now I only had a couple of the flare. So the first thing that is cohesive about all of these is they all are using 3 Girl Jam product. And with the exception of this one, they all have the Hollyberry ribbon. This one just has the flare. So that's the first thing. The second thing that's consistent throughout the whole theme is the paper. The only paper that I used for this project, either on the front or on the back, was from the graphic 45 paper pad. The one piece of paper that I used differently was a piece of scrap paper that I had, and I'll show that to you in a minute. And that paper is what I use to write my information on the back. So the paper pattern is also cohesive. Also, as I mentioned, I used the little Seven Gypsies little paper clips, and these paper clips have letters on them, and I just grabbed several different ones because I thought that they were fun, and I didn't really try to match them to a theme or anything. So those things are the same on all of them. The other element that is the exact same on all of them to varying degrees, and this one's probably a little difficult for you to spot, but the one that's the same is that I use glitter glue on each of them. This is the Studio G glitter glue, and I use them in different places. On most of them, if there's a postage stamp on them from that set, I use them on there. If this one doesn't have a postage stamp, so I used it on the letter strip on the bottom. So those are some things that tie them all together, but they're all unique and separate. This one has a little 3-Girl Jam flower with some Michael's bling. This one just has the ribbon bow. This one has a couple postage stamps with just ribbon across that I just taped down. This one I kind of ruffled the ribbon. I put on the back of this one, I put a strip of score tape and then just ruffled it on the back, and I popped this one up with foam. This one's popped up with foam, and this one's popped up with foam. These other ones, the larger pieces, are all just adhered directly to the ATC. Some of them have the postage stamps, and some of them, or a couple of them, have the little blackboard, almost remind me of flashcards. This one also has the Jelly Roll Stardust pen, and I just used that to put a little bit of glitter on the letters. That Jelly Roll pen is a little bit different. It's still glittery and shimmery, but it doesn't have the bulk that like a Stickles would have. It's just simply an ink pen that's glittery. On the back, when you turn it over, I covered the back with paper, and then on the back I put my information. Now this particular one I had an alphabet strip, and that's the other things that is cohesive on the back of all of them. They have this letter strip on there in some form, whether it's a larger piece or a smaller piece. My initial plan was to cut this at 2 inches wide by 3 inches tall, because an ATC is 2.5 by 3.5. And I wanted the background paper to show through. But on a couple of them, I ran out of, it was just a square piece of paper that I had. I didn't have very much, and so there were a couple that were short. So to add that width on this one, I ran the border strip completely on the side. So this one you see has number 1 of 6. It's got all of my information on the back. This one, I have some crochet thread that I just picked up at my local Joann's. This is Aunt Lydia's brand of crochet thread, and I tied a big bow on that one just out of that crochet thread. Again, on the back you'll see here I just put a little strip of that paperwork. So there we have today's back to school ATCs. So I hope that you do some back to school projects and link them up over at 3Girl Jam's blog, and I'll put a link in the description from my blog so that you can link up your project, and there will be a prize for the winning entry. So come on over and join us, and in the meantime, take some time to enjoy the little things. Have a great day. Bye.